While many Zelda fans expected us to dive deep into the darkness that is the caverns of Hyrule in Breath of the Wild 2, we had many a pleasant surprise to learn that we'll be returning to the skies above Hyrule, hearkening to the days of Skyward Sword, especially since Skyward Sword HD is released. With this potent importance of the sky and rising high, we have to ponder the question, how vital of a role will the sky play within Breath of the Wild 2, and how high will we go? As we thought that many secrets not found within Breath of the Wild will be laid within the ground, many secrets may be hidden among the skies. What's up Zelda fans, it's HMK with another Zelda video. Today we take a dive into the skies in order to figure out the mysteries and secrets that could be hidden beyond the clouds. So be sure to like, comment, share, and most importantly subscribe to HMK and hit that bell to know when my videos go live. Alright guys, strap on in for the safety of hype, let's dive directly into the noise. When dealing with the notion of going into the skies and ascending in Breath of the Wild 2, it seems like it was a trend that was truly started by Ganondorf, with his awakening causing the mouse to furiously pour out from the earth and push the Hyrule Castle into the air. And while we see the castle ominously float for a time, we all know that Ganondorf is relentless. He's a man of action, so he's trying to go somewhere. But where and for what? We'll get to that a little later in the video. But considering the various points within the sky that we seem to be able to travel through in Breath of the Wild 2, makes me believe that instead of a map that seems to be layered on top of the massive overworld that is Hyrule, that is meant to be explored region by region similar to how the overworld is, that the islands in the sky will gradually ascend, allowing you to get higher and higher in the air, as we can see from these various shots. And to me, it seems that the higher you go, the more gold you will see. As before in Breath of the Wild, the sky of course goes through a many varying amount of colors, but for Breath of the Wild 2, especially in this shot, it seems to be a very particular shining gold. And I feel that's going to be extremely important to the game. When we're talking about the islands and how they are adjacent to the ground in terms of what we could see below Hyrule, we can see a shot here that is above the Tundra Plateau, meaning that it's not too high off the ground because we can still see some recognizable landmarks at this position. But in other shots, it seems that we're really high up in the air beyond the clouds to the point where we can't recognize much on the ground of Hyrule. To that end, I have a theory on how these islands can play out, on how they can appear and how they can allow you to keep going higher up into the sky. I believe that dungeons this time around may be located deep within the ground like we saw it in the first Breath of the Wild 2 trailer, and that when you complete a certain amount of dungeons or every time you beat a dungeon, a new set or a new region of islands in the sky appear up, either from the ground or from some other dimension, I don't know. Or maybe they lower down from the sky, possibly giving us a reason why we didn't see them in the first Breath of the Wild game and that we don't see them in certain shots of Breath of the Wild 2, because as we go on, these islands will be more and more unlockable. And honestly, thinking about how the Nintendo Switch can push the limits of a Breath of the Wild game, I can see Breath of the Wild 2 built specifically for the Switch can handle the verticality up to 11, because remember, Breath of the Wild was originally developed for the Wii U. An idea like this isn't unheard of when it comes to this style of game. I actually got this idea refined from Genshin Impact, with the recent big update area in Inazuma, specifically the Serai Islands. As in one segment, you can go extremely high, and I mean extremely high. And I feel that there is a page that Breath of the Wild 2 may be prepping for. But all of this boils down to the question on why are we going so high in the sky? Well, my friends, remember that aspect of the golden energy, the golden sky, the skies of the ancients? Well, I believe it's because Link needs to reach something very important, and that important thing is the Triforce. Since the Triforce was a heavy MIA in the original Breath of the Wild, it could be possible that that reason is due to it being hidden among the clouds, possibly taking a big page from Skyward Sword and once again hiding it in a place similar to the Skykeep within Skyloft, and that makes me believe that we might see Skyloft once again in Breath of the Wild 2, although it may be abandoned and ghastly at this point. And playing around with that idea, better yet, maybe at the ultimate spot way above the clouds, way beyond the atmosphere of Hyrule and the world, we might be able to reach the realm of the gods. Do you like that? The Legend of Zelda, the realm of the gods? And maybe, just maybe, Link will finally be able to meet the golden goddesses, Din, Nehru, and Faecarly. And no, I'm not talking about the oracle versions, I'm talking about the true beings of divinity. But then that also begs the theory about possibly being in a race against time against Ganondorf. As I said before, he is a man of action, and raising the Hyrule Castle may be his way, his ticket to try to reach the Triforce or the Realm of the Gods. And that as time goes on and the game progresses, the castle, his ride to the realm, will be going higher and higher. So while we're trying to get there using the islands, Ganondorf is trying to get there using the castle and the Malice. But then a big reveal that could happen in Breath of the Wild 2, as we think we're beating Ganondorf to the realm of the Triforce and the gods, we actually lay a path for him to use himself as a fast track to the realm using the islands. I mean, it wouldn't be the first time he did it, he literally did that in Ocarina of Time. And with Ganondorf possibly blindsiding us to reach the realm of the gods before us, we'll finally fulfill the wish that Demise from Skyward Sword and Ganondorf from the Wind Waker originally sought to do. And that could lead to some dark outcomes that could pervade to the rest of the game, the finale of the game, or possibly set up a huge cliffhanger for the next Breath of the Wild entry. With that being said, I want to know what you guys think about this theory. How do you think that the skies and the islands will play a role within Breath of the Wild 2? And let me know what you think about this theory in the comment section as well. Like, share, and most importantly, subscribe to HMK and know when my videos go live by hitting that bell. And big thanks to my Patreon supporters for helping making this video happen. Alright guys, until the next one, this has been HMK, and I'll check you guys later.